That's a long story. Let me try to condense. Um, we started out in 2017. We wanted to build a traditional financial product on Ethereum, and we realized we needed privacy on chain. We needed to put these multi-billion-dollar portfolios with all this compliance stuff, and we wanted to put it on a blockchain network, but in such a way that not everybody could see what's going on. And we realized that that was kind of hard to do, and that it required a rather strange technology called zero-knowledge cryptography, which allows for computations over encrypted information. And the state of the art wasn't really good enough to do what we needed. It was too complicated, too cumbersome, too slow, and not secure enough. So I, along with Ariel Gabazon, we did original research to develop a novel new form of this cryptography that would enable the kind of practical, high-quality privacy technology that we needed for our business. So back in the day, these ZK snark technologies, if you constructed some program that you wanted to snarkify so you could prove stuff about encrypted information, you needed to perform something called a trusted setup ceremony, where you generated some secret numbers and did a bunch of computation, and then ideally you destroyed those secret numbers. And if you did not destroy those secret numbers, if you kept them, then your cryptographic system would be insecure, and you could break it, you could fake proofs, you could steal money, which is bad. And you had to do these setup ceremonies for every single application. And PlonK was the first practical technology where you didn't have to do this. It's universal because you only need to do one trusted setup for the entire proving system, and then you can write any application you want. And so we did that setup ceremony in 2019. We involved multiple hundreds of participants. The idea is every single participant has to collude or cheat in order for the system to be insecure. Why did we call it PlonK? Well, PlonK stands for permutations over the Lagrange base for ecumenical, using the archaic spelling of ecumenical than O, non-interactive arguments, the A is silent, of knowledge. The real reason is, okay, so when Ariel and I were putting this thing together, we were thinking of a name, and I knew that this was going to be a relatively big deal, as in that this was a powerful piece of technology. It solved a lot of problems that a lot of people in our industry wanted to get solved. So I suspected it would get used, and I suspected that there would be a world where relatively serious people doing serious jobs in serious settings would be sitting in a boardroom and going to themselves and talking about this technology. So PlonK is British slang for cheap, low-quality wine, but in an endearing way. You know, if you're going around to meet friends for dinner, and you know you're all good friends, you don't need to stand on ceremony. You know, you'd bring around a bottle of PlonK, or if you're a poor student, you would grab a bottle of PlonK. And like the cryptography we work with, you know, getting to the bottom of it will give you a big headache the day after. Yeah, and I just thought popped into my head, you know, what if I got all these important people to say PlonK? Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if that turned up in a transcript somewhere it shouldn't? So that's why I named it that. What optimizations in PlonK make it fast enough to support real applications? Well, it's been about 6 years of optimizations. Really, we really went back to first principles, back to, you know, number theory, prime field arithmetic. How do you implement this stuff in software? How do you do polynomial arithmetic in software? How do you do elliptic curve arithmetic in software? How do you execute on this complicated process of taking an imperative computer program, turning it into this weird thing called polynomial algebra so that you can construct ZK proofs? And at every level of this stack, we've been making constant improvements to the algorithms, to the implementations of those algorithms, to the theory, to the research. It's quite hard to list them all out. It would be quite an in-depth technical article. We're constantly evolving it. So originally it was PlonK, then we made some improvements in 2020. We called it Turbo PlonK, and then we made some more, and we called them Ultra PlonK, and then we made some more, and we called it Mega PlonK, and then we made some more improvements, and we called this Goblin PlonK. So yes, the names are from a... The names are a little strange, but yes, it's a constantly evolving piece of technology.